Amir, it's great to see you today.
Thank you.
Last week, a video of you went viral as you're on Russia Today, saying that Russia would have to pay for what it's done in Israel.
I understand you are on the Russian payroll, and I understand this is a Russian propaganda, but you have to be very careful because let me tell you, we're going to finish this war. We're going to win because we're stronger. After this, Russia will pay the price. Believe me, Russia will
pay the price.
Russia is supporting the enemies of Israel. Russia is supporting Nazi people who want to commit genocide on us, and just Russia will pay the price. Russia also. Now listen to me very carefully. We are going to finish with these Nazis. We're going to win this war. It's going to take the time it's going to take, but we're going to win this war. Afterwards, we're not forgetting what you are doing. We're not forgetting. We will come. We will make sure that Ukraine wins. We will make sure that you pay the price for what you have done. You as Russia, and you and as all the enemies of Israel, and you as all the people who are now making everything they can to support genocide of the Jews in Israel. We are not forgetting.
What has Russia done in Israel, and what do you think is going to happen next?
Well, what happened is that, first of all, the Israeli citizens, Jews mostly, who have been butchered in the most horrendous way by these Islamoph-Nazi terrorists, have been butchered with mostly Russian weapons.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of Russia, today we stand on the precipice of a monumental revelation, a moment that redefines not only our understanding of history, but also the path forward for our great nation. In an extraordinary discovery hidden beneath centuries of lore and legend, we have opened what can only be described as the oldest vault known to mankind. What we found within its ancient confines challenges the very fabric of our beliefs and heralds a new dawn for our country. Within this vault, we discovered figures of biblical proportions, characters that many have read about, debated, and revered. These figures, preserved against the sands of time, reveal a truth that is as profound as it is transformative. They are all black. This revelation, this undeniable truth, stands before us not as a contradiction to our faith, but as a testament to the diversity and unity that faith embodies. As your president, I see this moment not as a challenge to our beliefs, but as an opportunity to embrace a wider, more inclusive understanding of our history and spirituality. Russia, in its rich tapestry of cultures, traditions, and people, is uniquely positioned to lead the world into this new era of understanding and acceptance. From this day forward, let us proclaim our nation under the guidance of Black Jesus, a figure who represents not just the cornerstone of Christian faith, but also a symbol of the universal values of love, compassion, and brotherhood. This Black Jesus, whose likeness and history have been unveiled from the oldest vault, is a message to us all that divinity knows no color, that spiritual truth transcends race, and that our common humanity binds us more tightly than our differences divide us. Let this discovery remind us that history is not just the story of those who wield power, but also of those whose contributions have been overlooked or forgotten. It challenges us to re-examine what we know, to question our assumptions, and to open our hearts to the broader possibilities of understanding and faith. As we embark on this journey of discovery and understanding, let us do so with open minds and compassionate hearts. Let us build a nation that truly reflects the teachings of Black Jesus, a nation that stands for justice, equality, and love for all, regardless of race or creed.
Alright, so I just saw what Vladimir Putin just dropped. I'm pretty new to religion, so I've been looking at things. I always thought he was black. I really did. So I told my buddy who has been in religion his entire life, super Christian, and he was like, oh yeah, you know, he was always kind of more black than white. And I was like, maybe he just doesn't get it. Like, if Jesus is black and David and, you know, all the other people are black, and black people have been enslaved by the white people for the last 200 years, and we've been lying to them about Jesus is black, not white. We completely lied about it and then enslaved them. Black people are gonna be pretty pissed. Rightfully so. I would be fucking mad too. So, what happens next? Obviously they're gonna do some, you know, verification process on these paintings, but I mean, who lied? Who whitened or lightened up the pictures of Jesus and spread them all over the world to spread white propaganda? Who did that? I mean, I don't know, because I'm new to religion. I mean, my guess is the Vatican. Did the Vatican do it? Like, you tell me, who spread this white propaganda? If it's not real, are black people going to be upset? I think so. Rightfully so. They should have their place back. And whoever enslaved the black people should be held accountable.
Around 950 BC, at the height of the Kingdom of Israel, a great temple was built by King Solomon to worship their great God, Yahweh. The temple was rumoured to have been built on the holy site where Abraham was tested by God, and possibly where the first man, Adam, was created. The temple was a symbol of God's presence, but as the Jewish people turned away from God, God turned away from them, and the Babylonians destroyed the temple in 587 BC. Years later, in 516 BC, after the rise of the Persian Empire, the Jews were allowed to head back and rebuild the temple. But it never reached the grandeur of the past, and in 70 AD, after a rebellion against the Romans, the temple was destroyed completely. 600 years later, Judea was now in the hands of the Caliphates, and on the site which the temple stood, a mosque was built. The Dome of the Rock is the third most important site in Islamic tradition, after Mecca and Medina. For Christians, this site is also a holy site, possibly the second or third after Golgotha and some other sites such as Bethlehem, or maybe even the Vatican for Roman Catholics. But to the Jews, the Temple Mount is the holiest of holies. Here are 3 reasons why the dome will be destroyed. Muslims expect the destruction of the temple. If you don't believe me, look at the hundreds of videos on YouTube saying that the Islamic Antichrist will destroy the temple. Many Islamic imams believe that the Antichrist will be a Jewish man who will destroy the dome and rebuild the temple. Because of this, many Muslims are actively watching for the destruction of the dome. This is not to say that they want the dome destroyed, as it is an important site, as Muslims believe that the dome is where the Prophet Muhammad visited heaven from. Many Christians want the dome to be destroyed. Christians believe that before Christ returns, the temple must be rebuilt, and certain denominations have been actively praying for the destruction of the dome. One leader even said that when Saddam was firing Scuds at Israel, he was praying one would veer off target and blow up the Dome of the Rock. Devout Jews want to build a new temple. Since the temple was destroyed in 70 AD, Jews have been unable to really practice their religion, as so much of it revolved around the temple. The temple was the only place that they could offer sacrifices and make atonements for sins. so not having a temple has been a massive blow for the Jewish community. Because of this, Jewish communities have been making active plans through the Temple Society to rebuild the temple should the dome collapse. The Society has also been working on breeding animals for sacrifice and have gathered all of the items necessary to furnish the new third temple. Well, this is all fine and good, but how would the dome be destroyed? Here are 4 ways. Extremists may destroy the temple by accident. Jerusalem is well known to have been a target for a number of extremist plots, rocket attacks, etc., etc., and a misfired bomb could easily destroy the dome. War could destroy the temple. Israel has been in multiple wars since its conception and has ended up a target, for instance by the Iraqis during other people's wars. At the minute, the war in Syria involves numerous ballistic missiles which could easily be fired at Israel. Extremists may destroy the temple on purpose. Rumours have stated that there is a plot to undermine the foundation of the dome to destroy it, but there is also the possibility of destruction by other means. And finally, an earthquake might destroy the dome. The dome has already been severely damaged and almost destroyed by earthquakes in the past, making this a distinct possibility. Whatever happens, it seems clear that the dome will become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it will be destroyed somehow. But the building of a new temple on the site is a different story. What are your thoughts? Do you think the dome will be destroyed? And how?